Correct. Yep. I will email it to David and to Bill, and I will carbon you, Ken. Okay? He's free to go, yes. He's no longer captive. Yes. Released of your own recognizance. No, I do not need originals. Perfect.
Thanks for your help here, Patrick.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye. I just closed an account. It feels good.
You better high five than that.
I didn't know if that was like a
It was like a high five.
a bro.
No, it was like a let's get a little let's like
Okay, yeah.
I need a little stronger with
Okay, I didn't know what.
high five signal.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's all right. You gotta do it when it's
You gotta
done.
do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
All right, so
What's up?
nothing. We are putting together our St. Patrick's Day cookies right now, and it is a mess.
Nice.
And I'm not going to take you up there, so they don't want you up there. They're like
Specific orders, direct orders.
direct orders.
No
Yeah,
cameras?
it's a mess. There's just boxes everywhere. It looks unprofessional, but
What is professional?
exactly. It'd actually be more fun to do it in a beanbag chair.
I mean, we can sit. I would look extremely uncomfortable saying that. So I think that's unintentional comedy. So.
Let's do it.
So where are we allowed to go? Let me ask that question first.
Anywhere down here.
Anywhere down here?
Yeah.
So we can't see your office?
No. So I'd say for two reasons. Number one, we're putting together the cookies and it's a mess. Number two is we actually have a division. They specialize in athletes and entertainers. And
Okay.
they do home and auto and their foundations and their companies.
For athletes and entertainers?
Yes, just for athletes and entertainers. That's all this gentleman produces. He's got a team of 5 people. And we have a lot of jerseys on the walls and helmets that are signed. And we like to keep our clients private just because it's...
They're famous?
Yes, yeah, they're famous. It's like one of those things, it's one of those rooms that you have, but you never come to.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to get in a little PlayStation action?
Which you would think. Should we?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do we
I
got?
haven't played PlayStation probably since I was in college.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Are you a gamer?
A little bit. I'm slowly not becoming one, but
We have Uncharted 4.
I've played that. It's good.
So yeah, I think maybe these two things might tie together, question number 1 and question number 2 then, about like writing large commercial and then, doing it with a small agency.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not good at multitasking. I'm playing video games and I have to answer.
You can stop playing video games
I'm
at any point in time.
put the controller down and turn it off. I'll start with the agency story. I took over a family agency in about 2010, and we had 5 carriers. Those carriers will go nameless.
Can I just say I hate you for making me sit in a beanbag?
Yeah, you can absolutely. So.
Oh, this is awesome.
So 5 carriers, and in the first 6 months, 4 of them cut my compensation because I was small. Carrier X said, we used to pay you 15%, we're only going to pay you 12 now, unless you get to
Yeah.
this much revenue. Carrier Y said, we're changing our comp plan. It used to be 20% for package, now it's 18. Carrier C said, we're tiering new and renewal, and they took hits on my renewal. And so taking over the agency, I had a best case scenario, probable scenario, and then worst case scenario. I was about 10% below my worst case scenario my first year. So it was a difficult time for me to take over an agency and to have forces beyond my control eat into the margins. Now, mind you, I was 30 years old. I made a ton of mistakes, and so this is not a blame the carrier story.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but the carrier compensation certainly contributed to it, and I could tell the way the industry was going was to squeeze smaller agencies to join Keystone, SIAA,
Yeah.
or get acquired by private equity, whatever. So I think for me, the cutting of compensation was actually fortuitous because it took me out of an area where I was incompetent, which was running a business, and put me into an area where I was more competent, which is taking care of clients and sales. Yeah.
Let's go someplace else.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. How you doing?
Sort of.
This is Joey. This is Neil.
Joe, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet
How
you,
you doing?
Neil is a McGowan.
That's A. McGowan.
Hey, McGowan, not the McGowan.
Not the
A.
McGowan.
McGowan.
He's a McGowan. And he runs some programs for.
Professional Liability Programs Group.
Yeah.
Cool.
Joey's with Trusted Choice. You familiar
Oh
with?
my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're doing a
Are you
little.
doing a little
They're
piece?
doing a little
Look at
interview.
you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, just hold on.
Yeah.
You know.
look at me, gosh. That's awesome.
So yeah, hopefully it works out well.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. That's really exciting.
Yeah. Is this hot right now? Because he could be on this. Selling larger commercial. And I don't even want to use the word large. Let's just use the word larger. Because large to me, someone at
It's all relative.
someone at an agency at Marsh and McLennan would laugh at my accounts. You know, the accounts that
they just need to get over themselves.
Yes.
That's what they need.
when we talk about larger accounts,
It's all relative to what
yes,
you
it's all
normally do.
relative. And I would say, is it hard to go after them? And I would say, yes, it's hard to go after them to the extent that it's hard to break any pattern that you've developed
Yeah.
that needs breaking. Let's just say you're used to selling home and auto and $2,000 bops. What would it look like for next year, or like in June, to say I'm no longer going to service bops under $1,000? And just give them to an account manager, give them to a CSR, and what would it look like to say I have a goal to write 6 accounts that are $5,000 in premium? Like, what would that look like? Do you know what I mean? And so if you're writing $10,000 accounts, what would it look like to write 3 accounts that are $15,000 a premium? Like, just and continually push yourself.
How big of a difference is that? Because I feel like 10,000 and 15 are pretty much the same thing. Is that wrong? Is that a wrong assumption?
Yeah, it's actually probably not. I'm just thinking about pushing yourself. So,
Give me
so
some
like
benchmarks to
yeah.
where like there's probably like certain like parts of the spectrum to where it gets,
Yeah.
things get increasingly crazier or whatever. Like there's certain things like, so I'm assuming this is again a health insurance guy. I'm going to say probably the 1,000 to 5,000 is a category, maybe even 10,000.
1,000 to 10,000 is a category.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that.
And then we'd say 15,000 to 25.
50.
50. Okay.
Yeah, maybe 50, and then 50 to 500, and then like 500 and above, where you need like risk management and like total cost of risk and administrative costs and.
And what space do you generally play in? Are we allowed to say?
Yeah, no, that's fine. My average account size generates about $15,000 of commission.
It's not bad.
So I don't know, 15 divided by 15%, 100,000. So that would be
So
an
you're
average.
in the 50 to
50 to 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are accounts that spend more than that, but those, but that's where I want to get. Do you know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
And so what does it look like for me? And so the question that I'm asking is, what does it look like to play in that space? So do what you can to network with influential people, I think would be a big one.
All right, let's back up.
Yes.
Where do you start with that? Like, where do you start like saying, all right, I want to, let's say they've assumed that they want to get into this game.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first place to go to figure out how to network? There's not like, because there isn't like a big neon sign like start your networking here, right?
No, and you can go to like a chamber of commerce, and it's just
Some-
people that like print your business cards, and
Yeah,
like,
it's not
not
bad.
that I'm like
No, yeah.
above that, but
Because at some point it's got to feel natural and organic. You've just got to kind of be part of that community. But,
yes,
But getting, making your way in there, peeking through the door, looking through the, past
That's
the
gonna be
curtain sort
awkward.
of thing. Yeah,
yeah.
there will be a moment of like weirdness.
Yeah.
So what was that moment for you?
That moment for me was having a conversation with my father, who's great at it, and I just asked him for a tip, and he said, whenever you're at an event, go to the most important person in the room, walk up to them like a man, extend your hand and say, Mr. or Ms.
Yeah,
So-and-so, Patrick Muscenti,
yeah.
I just wanted to introduce myself.
Huh.
and so you don't ask for anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you don't want to be,
Yeah, you're like, hey, can I sell you insurance? But like,
That's
introduce yourself.
Yeah.
And so,
having patience, right?
yeah, and so, yeah, to have patience with it. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. So,
Be a man about it.
yeah. I read a study once, or I heard it once. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, because I believe that it's true, so therefore it is
Makes
true.
it, yeah. Very powerful.
That salespeople in our industry hit peak sales years between the ages of 45 and 50.
Oh, I got time.
Yeah. So, and that's what I would say. Like, I'm in my mid-30s. I've got
Yeah.
10 more years. But I want to keep growing to that point. And then, like, what would it look like? And then some people do push through that, but most people just into their 50s, they kind of coast on the book they're built. So, but what would it look like to build up to that point? And then pushing through it, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But what would it look like for you to, instead of being like, how do I write a $100,000 policy tomorrow, instead ask the question, what do I want my book to look like a decade from now? So then you become less tactical and more strategic. Did I get those right?
Yes.
Okay. I always get them confused. Less
less-
strategic, more tactical.
Wait.
No.
You said it backwards.
More strategic.
Less tactical.
Yes. I would say be more strategic with writing
We're both-
large business.
We're both idiots.
Less. Oh, you can do both at the same time if you're smart.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so I want to go back to the, we were talking about specifics. I just want to introduce myself, right? Like, and we see this a lot at Agency Nation, just it's amazing that, you know, it's just people have such disrespect for your time and, you know, the stuff that it's like, the last thing you want to do is just say like, I'm so lazy, I just want to do that. Like saying, hey, I'm Patrick, I would like to write your insurance is lazy, right?
Lazy and offensive.
Well,
yeah.
sure.
I'd be offended.
So let's go back to that strategy, right? So you go to the most important person. Hey, I'm so and so. Nice to meet you. You're a cool person. I think I'm a marginally cool person. Just wanted to say hi.
Yep.
See you later. Leaving them wanting more, and just oh man, Patrick was a very interesting gentleman.
Yeah.
What's the next play then? Is there a strategy to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kind
so
of
then
like casually stalk that person to show up
so
again?
I did this in a networking event. It was at a country club. There were like 1,000 people there. I went up to, I believe, was the most important person in the room, shook their hand,
Yeah.
introduced myself. We had a common connection that I knew, brought that up.
Yeah.
We ended up talking for 5 minutes. I gave him my business card. He gave me his.
Who gave the business card? How did you
Yeah.
position to that?
I don't remember. He might have given me his business card first. I don't even
well, that
remember.
makes it easy.
Yeah, I don't remember how it went.
So then how about this? How about your goal in the conversation is to want to get them to give you their business card because you at least have something interesting to say, right? Usually that's like, hey, you've
Yeah.
made an impression
yeah.
to where it's like, hey, I could talk to this
Making
guy
an
again and
impression.
not hate myself.
Yeah, I reached out to this person who has a personal assistant. So that's all of our goals, right?
Have a personal
Yeah,
assistant?
that does our scheduling and calendars.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said I'd love to grab lunch. So I invited him out for lunch.
This is the country club
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah, I invited
this was in the 5 minutes?
Yeah. No, later on.
Oh, okay.
I said, great connecting with you.
This was a follow-up after.
Yeah, I'd like to
You
take you
reached
out.
out.
I'd like to take you out for lunch and pick your brain.
We don't say pick your brain.
Why?
I don't know. We did a whole podcast on that saying pick your brain.
Did you?
Yeah.
You don't do that?
Yeah. Well, like me and Ryan were talking about like the people that say like to us like we'd love to pick your brain.
Yeah.
It's like lazy and offensive that you don't want to put in the work. But I don't need to get on you about that. I'm just
Well, it was a different industry. It wasn't about putting in work, and I don't think I used that phrase. It was a colloquial term I just use now.
Fine.
What would you say?
No, I thought you had really interesting things to say, and I want to hear more smart things from you. I don't know.
As opposed to dumb things like pick your brain.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to say it. You did.
No, that's okay. No, that is so. I have that pet peeve with, to be honest.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, it's like, what have you been lying to me? Like the half an hour before
So how do you
said, to be
there's
honest.
no way you have to listen. I say that like 100 times on that podcast episode.
Yeah.
You probably is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah,
Is that you?
that's my thing with you.
Oh, with me.
But I just
Oh, you
I
just
just
suddenly
traded
brought
a
it
barb.
up. Gotcha.
I just traded a barb with a barb.
Oh,
Yeah.
to be honest, I do say that all the
Yes.
time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just want to make very clear that like there's probably like a 70% chance I was being honest. I'm moving it up to like 90. Like
Yes.
is when I say that.
That's
It's
good.
like
Really
just increasing
yes.
the percentage of my likelihood of being honest with you.
Yeah, really, really honest.
But to be honest, Patrick,
Who knows if I did it right or not? I got the meeting. So anyway,
you got lunch, right?
so
Okay.
that's about building a network
yes.
more than it is like making a direct sale. But you also need to have people that you call
For the sale.
for the sale. Yeah, you need to build both. And so one's tactical, one's strategic.
Tactical would be calling for the sale. Strategic is the network.
Building your network so that you have referral sources coming in. So with apartments and condos, it's property managers. it's accountants, it's
That's the referral network.
real estate brokers who are part of the transaction. That's a great time to get in when you have a apartment complex that's changing hands. There's a new ownership, and they want a new set of eyes on it. So, yeah. So, be tactical and be strategic.
If I smell like gas, I got in a fight with a gas pump before I got here.
Oh,
I can smell it.
who won?
everywhere. A gas pump.
Yeah, it's usually what happens.